We set the pace. This is Royal FM News.
The time is 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, and thanks for staying with us on Royal FM 95.1. Here's the midday update. I am Bisola Uduwale Suleiman. First, the headlines. President Buhari expresses delight as abducted female student in Zamfara State gain freedom. Federal government tasked Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC on protection of schools. Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board (JAM) says no date has been fixed for registration for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Kwara Monarch expresses readiness of traditional rulers to partner governments in curbing insecurity. And on the foreign scene, Twitter cracks down on COVID-19 vaccine misinformation with strike system. And in sports, Leon Balogun may miss Rangers Livingston clash over injury. You're listening to Royal FM 95.1 in Lorry. You can also listen to us by visiting the Royal FM website, www.royalfm.net. The news continues after this timeout.
See, I don't did this hospital they wait for more than 4 hours. If you see the crowd, we gather the wait to see doctor. And wow, we even dey inside the doctor sef. I don't dey here for more than 4 hours now. I know we don't dey here before 1 hour. We dey here.
Please, this is a hospital environment. How be this so they even clear it for us? Okay, you're welcome, sir. The doctor will see you now.
No, because na big man. No.
No sit down, look. No sit down, look.
No sit down, look.
No sit down, look.
Welcome back. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed overwhelming joy over the release of the abducted female students in Zamfara State. Reacting to the development in a statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Garba Shehu, this morning, the President joined the families and the people of Zamfara State in welcoming and celebrating the release of the traumatized female students. The President also expressed joy that their ordeal came to a happy end without any incident, adding that being held in captivity is an agonizing experience not only for the victims but also for their families. While celebrating the release of the students, the President called for greater vigilance by the people so that human intelligence can be collected early enough to nip the bandits' plans in the bud. He also warned that the time has come to reverse completely the grim and heartbreaking incidents of kidnapping. Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawale, who confirmed the news of the release this morning, said the girls were released with the help of the repentant bandits without any ransom paid. The governor put the number of girls recovered at 279, although the police had earlier said 317 girls were kidnapped. The released girls arrived at the Zamfara State Government House in Gusau earlier today wearing face masks and light blue and brown chadars. And the federal government has tasked the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to immediately develop a robust scheme for the protection of schools across the country. It said was born out of its resolve to ensure the safety of children everywhere, especially within the school environment, from the incessant attacks by kidnappers and armed men. The Director of Press and Public Relations in the Ministry of Interior, Mohammed Manga, made the announcement in a statement in Abuja on behalf of the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, According to the statement, Aregbesola gave the charge when he decorated Ahmed Aldi as the new Commandant General (CJ) of the NSCDC. According to the statement, Aregbesola expressed sadness over the incessant spate of violations and kidnappings in schools. He, however, urged the NSCDC to continue to work in synergy with other security agencies with a view to immediately restoring peace and security in the country, particularly within the school environment. Still on the local scene, President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will pick dates on which they will be vaccinated publicly with the first batch of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, which is about 4 million doses expected to arrive in Nigeria on Tuesday. The Executive Director, National Primary Health Development Agency, NPHCDA, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, disclosed this at the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 briefing in Abuja. Shuaib said that the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the PTF at COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, will liaise with other key strategic persons to fix the date for the public vaccination aimed at protecting Nigerians against the COVID-19 pandemic.
On Saturday, March 8th, key strategic leaders will receive the first dose of the vaccine. The chairman of the Presidential Task Force will be engaging with Mr. President, the Vice President, and strategic leaders to get an exact date for when their vaccination will be taken publicly.
And the Department of State Services, DSS, has released Saliu Tanko Yakasai, a former special advisor to the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje. Yakasai was arrested after he called on President Muhammadu Buhari to resign if he cannot resolve the persistent insecurity situation facing the country, especially with the abduction of school students in Zamfara State. Brother of the former aide, Abdullahi Yakasai, confirmed the release in a tweet on Monday night. It is recalled that the Department of State Services had arrested Yakasai, whose family and friends declared missing on Friday afternoon. It is also recalled that at the initial stage, the DSS denied his arrest. However, after some time, the security agency admitted doing so, which attracted a lot of condemnation. Speaking later, the DSS spokesman, Peter Afunaya, while confirming Saliu's detention, denied that the former aide's arrest was connected to his criticism of the Buhari regime. The Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje at the time sacked Yakasai over what he termed not differentiating personal comments from an official position. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board says no date has been fixed for registration for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. To this end, JAMB advised the public to disregard a fake Twitter account that announced information on the registration date for the examination. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board also says all admissions in the nation's tertiary institutions for the 2020-2021 academic session will end by June 15, 2021. This was contained in a statement issued by the spokesperson for JAM, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, which reveals that the decision was collectively taken at a virtual meeting with the heads of tertiary institutions in the country on Wednesday, February 24, 2021. Still on the local scene, workers at ShopRite Mall in Akure, Ondo State, today embarked on a protest against what they described as inhuman treatment by the management of the company. The staff who gathered in front of the mall to protest at about 8 a.m. this morning alleged that the company has been treating them like slaves. The protesters, who were singing various solidarity songs, were armed with placards with different inscriptions. And in view of the worrisome cases of insecurity in Nigeria, traditional ruler Oba Abdul Wahab Abiodun Oyeyemi, the Alatonda of Atonda community in the Ifelodun local government area of Kwara State, has called on the federal, state, and local governments to empower them with logistics to fight the menace. The monarch, who expressed the readiness of traditional rulers to partner governments in curbing insecurity in the country, described it as the only option that could save Nigeria from a current travel. The royal father, who stated this during his 21st coronation anniversary and launching of an ultra-modern central mosque in Atonda community, appealed to Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak to assist the community with the provision of basic amenities that will check rural-urban migration. Oba Abiodun Oyeyemi said that the grading of the only road linking the community with Cocoa, the water project, and the construction of blocks of classrooms are through self-help by indigents of the town. Hence, the government should come to their aid. The news is reaching you from RoyalFM 95.1 in Lorry. We take a break now. When we return, a top World Health Organization (WHO) official has stressed that it is unrealistic to think the COVID-19 pandemic will be over before the end of the year. Please stay with us.
Your family needs you. Nigeria needs you. Drive safe and carefully. Your life is precious.
This message is reaching you from Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the midday update on Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin. Moving on to stories on the international scene. A top World Health Organization (WHO) official has stressed that it is unrealistic to think the COVID-19 pandemic will be over before the end of the year. Dr. Michael Ryan, director of WHO's Emergencies Program, who told reporters from the organization's headquarters in Geneva that the virus is very much in control, said it will be premature and unrealistic to think that the world will finish with the virus by the end of the year. He noted, however, that if the vaccines begin to impact not only on deaths and not only on hospitalization, but have a significant impact on transmission dynamics and transmission risk, then there will be an acceleration towards controlling the pandemic. Still on the international scene, Twitter says it has begun labeling tweets that include misleading information about COVID-19 vaccines and using a strike system to eventually remove accounts that repeatedly violate its rules. The company said it has started using human reviewers to assess whether tweets violate its policy against COVID-19 vaccine misinformation. Eventually, the work will be done by a combination of humans and automation, it said. Twitter had already banned some COVID-19 related misinformation in December, including falsehoods about how the virus spreads, whether masks are effective, and the risk of infection and death. And elsewhere, Hama Ahmadu, Nigerian opposition leader and former prime minister, is accused of being behind the deadly unrest in Niamey, Niger, and has been taken to prison after 3 days in police custody. According to the prosecutor's services, Ahmadu Hama was placed under arrest warrant in Filing prison in Niamey for the demonstrations that erupted in the country following the proclamation of the presidential results. He is also accused of regionalist propaganda and statements likely to pit people against each other. And now to sports in brief. Nigeria defender Leon Balogun is a doubt for Rangers' trip to Livingston on Wednesday due to injury. Balogun was replaced by Nathan Patterson at halftime during Rangers' Europa League home win against Royal Antwerp last Thursday after picking up the injury. Rangers manager Steven Gerrard confirmed the versatile defender will be accessed ahead of the game built for the Tony Macaroni Stadium. Still in sports, former Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu has been arrested as part of a fresh investigation into the Barca Gate at Camp Nou. The former members of the Catalan club's board has now been taken into custody following a raid on offices by regional police officers. That process started in the early hours of Monday with a request for all relevant documentation to be passed over by Barca employees and for material relating to the long-running case to be seized by authorities. And that's sports in brief in our soundbite today. Former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, asked federal government to allow regional security system to function.
Genuinely, to tackle issue of security, life and property by investing in them, allow some regional and state security system to function. I served as the governor, and when I found out that we had security issue, I decided that every community in Anambra State, every community must have their own security outfits funded by government, supported by government, and I bought each of them a pickup. If you go to Anambra State, every community in Anambra State owns a 4x4 pickup for security. In fact, some own 2 or 3. Community like Nne, we have about 4 or 5 bigger communities because it's critical. And that helped to reduce that. We put in everything, including communication gadgets and all that. And this was supported by government. So when I hear people talk about regional security and everything, that's what they should do and do it very quick.
And that's it on the midday update. But before we go, here again are the headlines. President Buhari expresses delight as abducted female students in Zamfara State gain freedom. Federal government tasked Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC on protection of schools. Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB says no date has been fixed for registration for the 2021 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Kwara Monarch expresses readiness of traditional rulers to partner governments in curbing insecurity. And on the foreign scene, Twitter cracks down on COVID-19 vaccine misinformation with strike system. In sports, Leon Balogun may miss Rangers Livingston clash over injury. The news was put together by Dada Oluwabamishi. You can visit www.royaltimes.net for updates on the news. Endeavor to also join us at 4 p.m. for Newsbeat and 6 p.m. for news around the globe. Should you like to contact us for comments, observation, and information regarding unfolding events, kindly reach out to the Royal FM Newsroom on 0805 0999 968. The newsroom number again is 0805 0999 968. I am Bisola Oduwale Suleiman. Good afternoon, and thank you for listening.